Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. We are the Swindon Town Poopers and we are in the FA Cup. I will remind you, we are currently the holders of the FA Cup, although admittedly we weren't playing on world-class skill level back when we won it by beating our hated rivals Chelsea. Today, we are at the county ground. Bald John Green is our captain. Other John Green, his teammate in life and in love, is his partner at the top. Context is everything. And the Swindon Town Poopers will be taking on Hull City in the FA Cup to find out who will be going to the semi-finals, which will be played at beautiful Wembley Stadium, where the actual Swindon Town just recently lost the Johnstown Paint Trophy, which apparently I keep mispronouncing. The John Stones Paint Trophy, the Johnstons Paint Trophy. Shut up, British people. All right, we're going to try to win this game. I'm going to talk today about my favorite animals, but mostly I'm just going to talk about platypuses, platypoads, and platypi. I'm also going to do quite a lot of talking about the game because I'm really focused on the game because I want to move on in the FA Cup. Leroy Williamson on the ball. I desperately want to win the FA Cup. It means a lot to me as a person and as a Swoodly Pooper. We hold the FA. What? Oh, just because I knocked that guy over? That shouldn't have been a foul. Now Fitzhall has a yellow card, which makes him a little bit less aggressive. And that other guy's still pretending to be injured, even though he's fine. So, basically, here's how the FA Cup works before I talk about platypuses. If we win this game, we go on to the semifinals. If we tie this game, we have to go play stupid Hull City at stupid Hull City Stadium. We don't want that. And ball John Green. Off the post! Off the post! Ball John Green off the top of the crossbar. I could feel it in my controller. It hit so hard. Oh, that's disappointing. And Leroy Williamson then proceeds to get fouled because he's fast and he's dirty and he loves to get fouled. Leroy Williamson going to the corner. He's going to throw in another cross. Ball John Green, get on the end of it. No, we're going to have a corner kick instead. Great job, Ball John Green. Here's what I like about platypuses. A few things. First off, how is that? Disagree with the not making it a corner kick thing. Few things that I like about platypuses. Number one, they are a great example of that's a foul. Thank you. Should I shoot from there? Probably not. I always fail when I shoot, so I'm just going to pass. Is Leroy Williamson anywhere? I like to pass to him. In a perfect world, fine, I'll pass to Merrick. Does that work? Yes. Well, I passed to Ball John Green. That'll work. Ball John Green easily stopped. Should have passed to his husband. Didn't. Mistake. Here's what I love. First off, they're amazing animals because, they're mammals, but they lay eggs. They're the exception to every rule, etc., etc. They make for funny Venn diagrams. Platypuses. They're awesome. Main thing I love about platypuses is that they are a great example of the internet's talent for having incredibly uninteresting conversations. And because there is widespread on the internet, there is widespread debate over whether you should say platypuses, platypoads, or platypi, with many people saying that this or that does not correctly reflect. It's a incorrect Greek or Latin or whatever reading of the word. And I wanted to talk about this because I wanted to talk about grammar today, not really about animals. I was just trying to trick you. So what I really find so fascinating about this is that we make fun of people in the so-called Dark Ages. You may remember this, that for having stupid intellectual... Oh, almost. Having stupid debates like how many angels can you fit on the head of a pin. That was a big debate that they had back in the day. How many angels do you think could fit on the head of a pin? And then if we understood that, then we'd understand what angels are like. Like, what are they like? But at least they were trying to understand something. In the case of the platypuses versus platypoads thing, it's just people having a debate for the sake of having a debate. There's really nothing to be gained. And also, if you say platypuses, or if you say platypi, or if you say platypoads, that's a foul in the box! Oh, Leroy Williamson! He did it! He got us a foul in the box! Leroy Williamson! Yes! All right. No, you're not taking the... Oh, can I have someone else take the penalty kick? Can I... Player roles? Captain... Is this penalties? I don't want John Green to take penalties. I want Leroy Williamson. He won the penalty. I don't know if he gets to take this one, though. He does. Leroy Williamson. Leroy Williamson scores occasionally. Leroy Williamson, he scores occasionally. He doesn't always score. Leroy Williamson scores occasionally. Leroy Williamson, he scores occasionally. Also true in his personal life. Leroy Williamson scores occasionally. Leroy Williamson, he scores occasionally. His first goal this season for the Platypoopers, Leroy Williamson, who scores occasionally, both drawing and finishing a penalty. Beautiful stuff, Leroy Williamson. I think some of our office mates actually left the building for that song. I think Chris was like, I've had enough. But I mean, I'll tell you, if that is the score at the end of the game, I will be singing the song again. Leroy Williamson, heroic. I'm a little hoarse because I haven't slept much. It's just in Amsterdam. Oh, Fitzhall. Stay on him, Fitzhall. Ricardo Bunsen-Burner with a big save. So we make fun of people in the Dark Ages for having conversations that didn't matter, but to me there is no conversation that matters less than the conversations about platypuses and platypi and platypoads, because we all know, when we have that conversation, we all know what oh, look at one size fits all. Why is the game stopped? Stan, why did the game... Oh, it's back. We all know that when we talk about whether you say platypuses, platypi, or platypoads, I know what you mean. You mean more than one platypus. I know that with a 100% degree of certainty. And that's the reason that language exists. It doesn't exist for some other reason, for some... Come on. Oh, that was actually a really good opportunity we missed out on. But we're winning at halftime thanks to the heroic penalty by Leroy Williamson, who scores occasionally. Can I get a replay of it, please? Please let me have a replay. It made me so happy. Just let me see a replay of it. Yes. Leroy Williamson scores occasionally. Leroy Williamson, he scores occasionally. He doesn't always score. Leroy Williamson scores. So beautiful. I love it. Sorry, I'm probably going to sing that song another time if we win. I'm just so excited. I didn't even get to see the halftime scores, but if we win this game, we're going to the semifinals of the FA Cup. When you have a debate, that's a debate over nothing. All that you've done is waste intellectual time, waste time, brain time that could have been spent differently, like what Clay Shirky calls the cognitive surplus. You could have used those moments in the cognitive surplus to talk about something else, to debate something that really is important and does have consequence. And I think some of what we're doing when we have those debates is that we're like practicing for future debates. Ball John Green with a goal! Oh my gosh! Yes! Ball John Green! What? This game is going great. Look, his husband's gonna hug him. Whoa! Yikes, whoa, get down there. Yes, that was some exciting stuff there. Oh, look at that. Just a great cross to Ball John Green, and he's just a finisher. Always been a finisher. Yes, we're up 2-0 on Hull City. It looks like we're going to the semifinals of the FA Cup if we can just keep our stuff together. And Leroy Williamson, he's trying his best to make sure we keep it together. Passing to Ball John Green. Back to Leroy Williamson. No, can it be? No, he misses. Oh, I should have taken like 4 more steps. I had a ton of time. I couldn't believe that Leroy Williamson had an opportunity to score 2 goals in one game after scoring no goals all season, even though I do nothing but pass the ball to him because I love him so much. Leroy Williamson, he could have scored. He could have, but he didn't. Now Hull City, they're overcommitted. Oh, that was some good D, actually. Full points to Hull City there. But they're overcommitted on offense, which means that there's going to be opportunities. Oh, other John Green couldn't get it. I just think that we need to spend, when we spend internet time debating, we need to be debating interesting questions. We need to be having constructive conversations. And in some ways, I find that like these increasing, where the rhetoric is just insane. Like if you go on internet forums, the rhetoric about the platypi versus platypuses conversation is just so cruel and demeaning. It really does remind you of the regular political rhetoric that we have in this country, or really in most of the developed world now. I think the U.S. has done an incredibly good job of exporting its terrible political discourse in the last 10 years, and I find it really disturbing that this is if the Platypi platypuses thing is a way that we're practicing how to have political conversations or how to have conversations in which we disagree, then that's fine, I guess. But the quality of that conversation is not good. So it's not good practice. That's point A. Point B for me is that it's not constructive because there's nothing at stake. And one of the things that I think we in our political conversations we often lose track of is that we lose track of what the stakes actually are. We think that the stakes are winning and or losing the debate and or an election, not that the stakes are, having better conversation as a community or as a country. And that's really what the stakes are in these situations. So, for instance, in the conversation about why gas prices are expensive and whether they should be more or less expensive, that conversation shouldn't be political because it's not a political problem. Just as in 2008, when Obama was blaming George Bush for rising gas prices, and that was stupid. It is stupid in 2012 when Republicans are blaming Obama for rising gas prices. Gas prices do not rise or fall based on who is president, period. And in fact, the president has almost no say, functionally no say, in gas prices in the United States. Leaders in Saudi Arabia have some control over gas prices in Saudi Arabia. We have very little, but not even that much, actually. There is no individual or set of leadership that decides gas prices. It's much, much more complicated than that. And when we fail to acknowledge the complexity of that, and when we fail to, and in many ways, the truth is that in many ways, rising gas prices are a good thing because it means the economy is recovering. And that there is more worldwide demand for oil. That's the main reason that gas prices are higher. And that is not the fault of anyone except of a growing economy. And we always talk about how we want more people to be able to take part in the prosperity of a growing global economy, and we want more people to come out of poverty. Well, part of that is that there will be more demand for oil that we have taken for granted that other people won't want or have a need for the last many years. So I really think, oh man, we are just swarming at the back there. There's perhaps too many people in the back. The Platypuses-Platypoads debate to me represents our kind of communal failure to have conversations about things that matter and respecting what the stakes actually are, instead of thinking that the stakes are always winning. I might talk about that tomorrow when I talk about mandates and healthcare, but not today, because today, hasn't this been enough? That we've had goals from both Bald John Green and Leroy Williamson, who scores occasionally, and that our boys are going to the FA Cup semifinals while Hull City smell their pits in shame. Congratulations to the Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers and all Swoodly Pooper supporters everywhere. Leroy Williamson scoring occasionally, Bald John Green scoring regularly. Great stuff from the Swoodly Poopers. See you next time. Best wishes.